Okay, hi everyone. It looks like I am live streaming. Welcome to our 13th mini mindful moment on the topic of how much you can be yourself at work and still be professional. I wanted to I've missed a few of these mini mindful moments. I had planned to do them all the way through July, but I had some travel for work. Um, and I had some personal stuff going on. I've actually moved into a new home for a while, which is a big deal. And I also wanted these mini mindful moments to be more interactive. I've been doing them from Zoom, and I've switched to StreamYard. So I had this learning curve to be able to connect. So for those of you who are out there, I'm still having trouble seeing if you all who are here could leave a comment. I should be able to see the comment here. So let's see how this works, the interactive part of it. So again, the topic that we're going through today is how much you can be yourself at work and still be professional. And I have some introductory slides that I'm going to go over with you, and then I'll do the mindfulness practice, and we will have a Q&A at the end of that session, which I will not record, so it can be private. Okay, so this is the topic that I'm going over today. Who am I? I am Karen, an executive coach and business consultant. I focus on leadership, culture, and strategy, and I'm beginning to call it agile strategy because it's a very specific way that I work with people. With my IMX approach, I guide leaders at all levels of an organization to discover. I think of it as like it's any person, but especially leaders, their inner genius and a way of being powerful in the world that you know is healthy and is creating good. So as a result, clients gain confidence in their value. Um, they pretty typically create new opportunities. One of my clients was able to land $20 million of funding for their start. I have another one who landed 35. Um, just seeing. Okay, yep. Can't help that right now because I'm in the middle of something. um, Usually people end up earning more money, and also it helps with navigating complex and demanding situations while also creating healthy work environments where everyone can win. And one of the ways I do this is by guiding people through mindfulness practices to help develop influence and relationship skills. That's specific to this particular mini mindful moment. So the issue, the balance between being authentic and professional at work has become a lot more confusing recently with the rise of flexible work schedules and a desire to be more real. And it's a topic that my clients have been bringing up with an understandable need for more transparency and authenticity at work. So the question then becomes, what does this actually look like in a professional situation? And where should the lines be at this point? So again, I'd like to ask you that if you have any questions for this topic today, please put them into the live chat. Um, I should be able to see them. And I'll do my best to address your questions as I can, as I go through this background, some background context and information. And if I can't answer your question in the introduction, I'll do it at the end in the Q&A. So I just want you to know I will get to your questions as I can. If you're listening to this in a recording, we post the recordings on YouTube. You could add a comment in the record for the YouTube recording video, and we will answer your question. Okay, so professionalism at work. It's important, right? It's important to be professional because it leads to productivity And depending on your industry or your company standards, it can include being considerate, trustworthy, reliable, the things that are listed here on this slide. And for many people, professional standards of behavior can actually be suffocating. Like when professional means you have to be perfect and perfect in a way that maybe you haven't grown up with or you don't know about. People can become afraid to make mistakes, and that limits learning. And you can't be a good leader if you're afraid to make mistakes, or if you're creating a culture environment where this is the situation. Or it could be like our heroic efforts to solve problems. This can be professionalism. These heroic efforts are valued over making sure the right work gets done. This leads to firefighting kinds of cultures. So emotional intelligence can end up being stamped out by professionalism. I think of like this looking like the austere office versus the office that shows some personality. And what can happen in professionalism is that you have an expectation that you never show anything personal. You don't show emotions, or there may be an unspoken discomfort with conflict or disagreements that might disrupt the professional environment. Or maybe an expectation that things in the workplace should never get messy or uncomfortable. This is real in many work environments. So, yes, we do need to have clear and understood standards of behavior in our workplaces. And we also need to learn ways to become more authentic with each other. We need both so that we can engage more of our capacity, our human capacity and wholeness. For example, by being both rationally and emotionally intelligent. Let me show you what that looks like without my face over it. This rational and emotional intelligence, both. And being authentic means being vulnerable about who it is that you really are, what you're feeling. Yeah, authentic, right? Authentic. But wait a minute. Whoa. Isn't that going to cause problems? Thinking it's going to cause problems is part of the problem. So the question then becomes how much is too much to share about who I am and about my feelings? So, yeah, how much is too much? So we need to ask ourselves what is going to be most supportive to me that might actually mean not sharing a lot. It could be just like letting people know you're dealing with something, like me sharing with you, yeah, I'm dealing with some personal stuff and I've changed my home. Um that lets you know that it's me showing up for these many mindful moments is it has been a challenge and I waited to do it until I felt really good about doing it. The next question to ask yourself is what is going to build connection and trust in your sharing, which often means sharing what you need and also asking others to do the same. So, being authentic and vulnerable does not mean spewing everything you're thinking and feeling. That's not what we're talking about here. Being authentic requires integrity. This is the bottom line of what I'm sharing. And sorting through the blame and judgment that you have going on inside of you to find your personal truth that also serves a collective endeavor. I'm going to actually say that again because it's so important. Being authentic requires integrity with yourself, sorting through your blame and judgment so that you can find your personal truth that's deeper than that blame and judgment that will also serve a collective endeavor. So, what's required is personal integrity. So I want to give you an example of this. Um, it's the kind of integrity that can happen with technically minded people. This is the kind of person I am. I have a computer science background. I'm I think in systems. And this is the kind of person that I work with most often. And we tend to be experts, the kind of person who has the answers. We have a right answer or a wrong answer. And we can find it hard to admit that we don't know something. So we might judge someone else who doesn't have the answers because we expect that of ourselves. And we might think of them as not being competent. When in reality, that judgment is not true. What might be needed is a learning conversation where we can discover something new that neither one of us knew before to improve a situation. So, with the right people at the right time, we need to be able to be honest and say when a situation is not working, when we don't have an answer. And from there, we can be curious about what might be possible. So, this is what happens when we welcome being imperfect and human and work together to find a solution. All right. So, to be in personal integrity and authentic in useful ways, we need to sort through, as I said before, our own blame and judgment and get to a deeper personal truth, deeper than your internal blame and judgment or whatever other negative thinking you might be having. And in the example I provided, the judgment was you're not competent and that's bad. That's a problem. So going deeper requires you to be honest and curious with yourself first about your discomfort and judgment so you can be honest and curious with others. You're not going to be able to do it out there if you can't do it with yourself first. And using that experience then to discover what truly matters to you personally and in the situation with others. So then, you can be authentically honest and curious in a way that is also professional. Going back to the example of the expert looking for right, wrong answers and being judgmental. So, what mindfulness can then help you do, and we're about to go into this, is it can give you experiences where you learn to suspend your need for a quick, definitive solution. It's a like a pattern interrupt in an automatic nervous system brain response so that you can get curious about what you don't know, about what deeply matters to you and everyone involved, and about what might be possible. It puts you into a more creative space so that you can come up with solutions that are beyond what you already know or automatically assume. Okay, so that's why all of this is important. I also want to tie this back to the IMX compass. All the practices, the mini mindful moments that I provide are guided by a tool that I've created called the IMX compass, which is based on the rhythms of the seasons and days, which is something that we can all relate to. And I've provided an experience of the compass in our first practice. So if you missed that one, you can go back and check that out when you have a chance. The link is in the description for this event, which you should find below. And balancing being authentic and professional falls within the South or community direction of the IMX compass, where we're working on creating healthy, authentic, trusting, and caring relationships. A game changer when it comes to creating places where people truly want to work. So as we dive into today's practice about how much can you be yourself at work and still be professional, I want you to consider that the more personal we get, the more universal we are. I'm going to say this one more time. The more personal we get, the more universal we are, the more we find territories of common ground, like the importance of family and stability, some kind of stability in the midst of change, and the ability to navigate challenges and change. Okay. So let's go ahead and move into the mindfulness practice now that will help you find that balance between being authentic and professional at work. We'll give you an experience now of what that looks like. So no more slides for now. So go ahead and let yourself get comfortable with the information, letting the information I just shared, just let it sink in or flow through whatever feels right to you. I want you to feel free to move around if you want. You could listen to this with your eyes open. It might be better for your eyes to be closed. You have to decide what works for you. So what I want you to start is notice your breath, just the inhale and the exhale that happens so naturally and so beautifully all the time without your heroic effort, unless you have a health condition. And notice as you breathe your body, the energy in your body that comes from breathing. Notice that you're alive. You might feel this energy in your body as a kind of buzzing or calm. It could be a very calm alertness. Just notice for yourself in this moment what your life force energy feels like in your body. And notice that it moves in your body. And with your attention, your focus on your energy, just guide that energy down through your body, through the bottom of your feet, down into the ground, into the earth, so that you can feel safe. Don't think about it, right? You know how to connect to the earth with nature, to feel that connection. So just let it happen. Let yourself ground. So go ahead and notice your thoughts. Your thoughts. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And let those thoughts and feelings just flow through you. Let them float. Even if there's something really persistent right now, just let it move like motes of dust floating in a breeze. Notice your breath and that life force energy. That's what's foremost in this moment. And know that all of who you are is welcome here. The human parts, your weaknesses, your failings, and the gifted parts, the best of who you are. Just let yourself feel the aliveness that's inside of you even more now. We're just letting this sensation of being alive build. This essence of you that's not your body. It's in your body, but it's also not your body. And it's not any particular role that you play, like a son or daughter, mother, father, CEO, director, engineer, whatever. It's not that. The essence of you is your aliveness. that's like a wave in the ocean of aliveness that's all of life. Take a breath and relax. Feel this connection to life. And let yourself sink deeper into the ocean of aliveness that is you, connected to your body, connected to yourself, and connected to life around you. Notice how, in your particular uniqueness, no one else is just like you. You can also feel like a part of life, connected to something bigger than you. Unique and combined in a collective, in a group, in life. Both. It's not either or here. So we're in a spacious place in this moment that is both you in your unique, authentic brilliance and us together at the same time. Just notice what it feels like for there not to be any particular tension between those two things. Now, I want you to lightly bring to mind one situation that is challenging you at work. One situation, one person, one thing. And just pick it. Boom, done. And notice what you're thinking about this work challenge. What assumptions are you making about what others might be thinking about you or this situation? So, what are you thinking? Now, notice what you're feeling about this work challenge. Same one. And what assumptions are you making about what others might be feeling about you or this situation? Feelings. So give yourself a moment and some space to be with whatever charge you have about this situation. And when you're ready, know that whatever you're thinking and feeling right now, these are your thoughts and feelings. They're coming from inside of you. Who knows what others are actually thinking and feeling about you or the situation? Who knows? Not you. And you have no control over what's happening outside of you, over others. So let's just focus back within you and bring your attention back to your breath. Notice how your body is it's vibrating literally with aliveness as you breathe. You're connected to the earth, feeling safe. There's plenty of space here for all of it. And let's look again at what you're thinking and or feeling about others or the situation. And I want you to pick one thought or feeling that you're thinking about others in this challenging situation. Maybe you're blaming others, maybe you're judging. Just what's here. So it could be she's being rude, or he's being angry. Just whatever it is, let it be here. Staying in the spaciousness of this mindfulness practice, let the energy of these thoughts and feelings move. Whatever's here, just let it move. Whatever you are thinking or feeling about others is telling you something about something that's going on in yourself that you are struggling with. Like, how am I being rude? Like, how am I judging the anger in myself? So this one thought or one feeling, what is it telling you about what's going on inside of you? Just let yourself be with it. And what is this one thought or feeling telling you about what you deeply care about? Like, you care enough to feel some upset or frustration. So let yourself experience it. The thing for me always comes down to connection. I care deeply about real connection with people. What is it that you care deeply about? And I don't tolerate fake connection well, like, fake smiles and hugs. Don't like them. So maybe you might want the conversation to be more respectful and less rude. Or maybe the emotional undercurrents of the situation feel too intense and you need some guidelines or support in the conversation. Just let yourself go into it and be with what you need as you can. So, this is a reminder, stop trying to be non judgmental and perfectly rational. Just let that go. Stop focusing on them and let yourself just be with what's going on inside of yourself. Just be intimate with you. What is this challenging situation telling you about what's deeply personal to you? What's important to you? And about what you need? Right here in this moment is where you can reclaim personal integrity with yourself. Now, as you can with this next part, how might you bring what you need to this situation? Okay, and an example of this might be, how might you bring respect to the situation? Or what request might you make so that you can feel emotionally safe? Or what support might you need? Remembering that what is deeply personal is also universal. Consider how you might share what's important to you using I messages, like, I want to make sure I'm being respectful of you, or whatever is most precious to you. Like, I am going to bring this. Start with you. As a leader, you get to go first. Then invite others to share what's important to them. So, this is how you can be both authentic and professional. Bring it up in a way where you're owning it in the context of something where there needs to be something sorted out, learning, something new happening that wasn't happening before. And now I want you to go ahead. We're going to come out of the practice now. And I want you to go ahead and like wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes if they've been closed and come out of the practice. And the invitation is for you for the rest of the day to just practice with sharing your authentic truth, sorting out blame and judgment as you can. That takes practice. Using I messages. If you just stick with the I messages, that will really clean up a whole lot. So if you're live, you can stay on for a Q&A now. And if you're watching the recording, please give us a like and leave a comment or a question below. I'd really love to know what this was like for you, if you have any questions or requests. And thank you so much for being here. I'm going to end the recording now.